Now, since the humans are the main part of the land, הם העיקר, ואם הם השחיתו דרכם, גם הארץ נשחטה בחטאם. Since the humans are the main part, whatever they do, they destroy also the land. Now he continues and he says, Tacha ze come and see, kol chetoi devarnash kulhu chabulata dile talyan b'tshuva. Come and see that all the sins that the man does, he also does a blemish. When I do a sin down here, not only that I'm blemishing the body, I'm blemishing with what I did the sin to, not only that I also do a blemish in the world above. So any sin that I do in this world, it's not only going on the body or whatever I sinned with, I have to understand that there's also a blemish in the world above, and everything now is dependent on my tshuva, even the sin above. V'cheta de'oshi de'zara, and the sin of a person spilling the semen al ar'a, on the land, u'mechabla arche ve'apik zara al ara. Sorry, I read the line again. V'cheta de'oshi de'zara, the sin of a person spilling the semen al ara, and on the land, u'mechabla arche, and he's destroying his path. Ve'apik zara al ara, and he spills, so to say, the semen on the land. It doesn't have to be physically on the land. It just means it's not going to a place of kedusha. And this was one of the most severe sins at the time. Mechabile u'machbil ara. Since it's making the person mushchat, making the person impure, then it's also affecting the land that he's standing on. And on that it says, Nechtam avonech lefanai. This is a verse from the prophet Yirmiyahu in chapter 2, that it says, your sin is Nechtam, means I have your sin made a stain in front of me. So when I do a certain sin, I cause a stain, a blemish. And this is backed up by a verse from Yirmiyahu, when it says, when you do a sin, then the result from that is a blemish. Don't think that it just disappears from the universe. Since we do that as a human, then whatever we affect, whenever we sin, it's affecting everything around us. And it says, Uchtiv, Be lo al tomar chafetz resha ata, lo yegurcha ra. There's a verse, we actually learned that now in Tishrei. There's a verse in Tehillim chapter 5, and it's verse 5. And it says, Ki lo al tomar chafetz ra, ata lo yegurcha ra. Don't say that I'm not, I don't desire anything bad, but so as long as you do bad, anything that around you gets affected. Perush, what does that really mean? Hachote bezera levatala, a person who sins with spilling the semen not in the right way, nikrara, he's called an evil person. And he can't stand next to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because he's considered a wicked person. Bar b'tshuva sage, unless the person does tshuva, you do tshuva, then no problem. But this is not a simple tshuva. This is not a simple sin. The tshuva has to be tshuva gdola, dahainu b'tshuva ma'ava. It has to be real tshuva and tshuva from love, not tshuva from fear. There are two levels in tshuva. There's different sources call it in a different way. One will call it tshuva ma'ava and tshuva me'ira, tshuva from love and tshuva from fear. The Zohar calls it tshuva ila'a and tshuva tata'a, a high level tshuva, a lower level tshuva. But nevertheless, we're looking here at the premium, at the gold version. It's not the easy tshuva, it's a very hard tshuva. Uchtiv. Where do we learn this from? We're going to learn this from very soon in a few parashot. It says, Vayehi er bechor Yehuda ra be'enei Hashem. If you remember, there's the whole story with Yosef HaTzadik. We're going to get to that very soon. It's around the corner. And then suddenly, in the middle of the story, there's a detour, and it's talking about Yehuda going and meeting Tamar, and he has sons, and they sin, and you know the whole story. And why did Hashem punish them? Because they didn't want to get their wives pregnant. And was the first son. He liked his wife to look pretty. He didn't want her to get pregnant and then, she gains weight and the body is not as nice and tight and whatever. So it says that they didn't use precautions at that day, birth control and stuff like that. They used to, Rashi says, dash mi bifnim, zorea mi bachutz. Dash mi bifnim means that you plow from the inside, but you plant outside. So we're not going to get into too many descriptions here, but that was considered a very severe sin up until today. And it says in a pasuk, it says, V'chtiv, we have a pasuk here, this is in Bereshit 38, verse 7, and it says, Vayehi Bechor Yehuda, the firstborn of Yehuda, Ra be'enei Hashem, he was considered evil, Vayamiteu Hashem, and Hashem killed him. And then Onan, same thing. Onan did the exact same thing. That's why Tamar was like, wait a minute, what's going on? They're all dying here. You're going to get a good insurance, life insurance policy here. But nevertheless, Veha Itmar, and it says, Shene'ena shel sheishchit darko. What did the commentary says? Why did both get punished, especially Because he went off his path. The first commandment we got is puruvu, and you have to be fruitful and multiple, and they said, no, I don't want to. That's where we know that a person who does that is considered in the eyes of Hashem, Rasha, a wicked, a bad person.